I do.
This is Glenn Pendlay, and we're going to go through that learning progression that we use for Snatch here at California Strength. It's a very simple progression. It has very few points. First thing we do is get the bar gripped at the right width. So I'm going to have John here pick up the bar. I'm going to have him go ahead and go too narrow. Let's assume that he picks it up first and it's too narrow. The idea is to have the bar right in the crease of the hip. So the crease of the hip that happens as you bend over, okay? When John starts to bend his knees or bend over, you can see that the crease of the hip is here, the bar's way down there. So I'm going to have him grip wider. Let's go ahead and play like you go all the way out to collars, which this is going to be too wide for John. Go ahead and bend your legs a little bit. As you can see, again, this is not in the crease of the hip. This is too far up the stomach. So go ahead and take your normal snatch grip. This is where John normally grips it, and if he bends his knees a couple inches, you'll see that the bar stays right in the crease of the hip. Okay, that's where we want to start our snatch grip. It may need to be adjusted a little bit later on, but when we're learning the snatch, that's where we want it to be. Okay, the first thing I'm going to have John do is stand straight up, push his shoulders back, make sure his weight's on his heels. Then I'm going to have him bend his knees 2 or 3 inches, and I'm going to have him jump and catch. Go. Jump and catch. Okay? Some of the things to think about here are there's nothing in between jumping and catching. Okay? You want to move your feet, and you want to hear the foot hit the platform at the same time the elbow turns over and the bar locks out. So go ahead one more time. Okay? That's exactly right. I'm going to go ahead and step out here and have all 3 of these guys do this, so you can see 3 different body types all doing the same thing. Stand straight, weight on your heels, shoulders back. I want everybody to bend their knees about 3 inches without bending forward. Jump and catch. Okay, one more time. Stand straight, bend your knees, jump and catch. Boom. All right. Go ahead and put the bars down. All right. Next thing that we do is we want to work into an overhead squat. We want to work to the squat snatch immediately, as quickly as we can. We don't want to stick with the power snatch any longer than we have to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell these guys to go ahead and do that same movement, stand up, and then attempt an overhead squat. Go. Now, as you can see, these guys can obviously all overhead squat. If we're not successful in making an overhead squat, we need to stop here and we need to work on the balance or flexibility issues that will allow us to do an overhead squat. If you can successfully do an overhead squat, then we immediately start working into the squat snatch by the next step is doing a power snatch, then stopping wherever you catch the bar, not standing up, stopping there, getting your balance, and then dropping into an overhead squat. Okay, so bend your knees, jump and catch. Everybody stops, then go on down. There you go. Good. Now, once they've done that, once they've been able to keep their balance in the catch position without having to walk forward or walk backwards, we immediately, over the next 3 or 4 reps, we're just going to tell them to slowly transition from having to stop and catch the bar and then dropping to dropping straight into the squat snatch with no hesitation. So I want you guys to go ahead. We're going to do 3 reps here, and I want you to go use less hesitation each one. The 3rd one should be straight into the bar. Okay? Bend your knees, jump and catch. Go ahead. Good. A little less hesitation on this one. Bend your knees, jump. Good. Now on this one, I want you to go full bore. Bend your knees, straight under. Down. That's just all there is to it when we teach the snatch at Cal Strength. It's very simple. There's very few things to remember, but that is the top pull. And after everybody can do that, we don't move on from that until we do a pretty good job doing that. Once everybody does a pretty good job doing that, then we'll go to the next step.